Hey guys, it's Will here, coming at you with another live video here. As you can see another corner of the room, you have me here. Camera's kind of freaking out, but here we are. Another part, trying this area, all around. Anyways, we did a stream yesterday as of this recording, which you guys can see probably hopefully on my channel here at some point. I'm trying to upload a couple of them. I have plans tomorrow, Saturday as of this recording, to do some commissions for 3D printing and some D&D. So I won't be able to stream, though that's why I did it earlier yesterday. There's also some news we're going to cover and talk about in this video. We're going to be talking about what's going to be coming up next in the channel. So yeah, it's going to kind of be an update video, channel news, what's going on in the world of me in this channel. So starting off here, post-production me, if I remember, put photos or whatever video here of a showing of what I've finished. So as of this video, we have finished the Flak 88 or the Flak 30, whatever, the 88. We finished the 88. We have finished the Sevavente, which is our two large models. We finished the Italian side, so the Bezelgari regular soldiers and their HQ squad. We are now working on the German side of things, so I've primed them all. So this is going to be the Panzer, the infantrymen, and the HQ squads. And there are two extra weapon teams. So we have one of the weapon teams already painted, which was an MMG. So we're going to be working on the second MMG. So we're going to be working on those there. And hopefully, yeah. So hopefully see you guys next Saturday stream when we do whatever needs to be done there. If I get this done actually quicker than I thought, I'll do a video about showing like how much done and stuff, the final picture. But we'll still do more painting stuff. We'll maybe paint some other things that are desert related in my color schemes. So yeah, we'll do that. Going next here, as I have the cat right beside me here. So if you see me over my hand over here, it's because she's here. We are going to be working on some other things. Spring's here, so summer's around the bend, which means Apex Legends is going to be being shipped out here very soon. People are estimating June, June is going to be coming out, so keep eyes on that. So that's going to be nice. I have the pocket version of Gloomhaven is on its way, so we will be receiving that hopefully here soon. And then we'll do a review on that. The Kickstarter stuff is slowly coming out for King and Country, which is by Studio Historia, which made another box set, which I actually bought, which again, if I get a picture, I'll put it up here or up here. And it is the Canadian Late War Starter Box, though I'm not showing it yet because unfortunately my RAM transport carrier that came with it came with two left tracks instead of a left and a right. So it's left or right. It came with two of the same sided tracks, and I've messaged them. I'm waiting for it to come in, though because it is coming from Greece, it does take like 2 to 3 months to get here. And I've tried talking to them about maybe just giving me the STL to print myself, or finding somebody else to do it that was closer. But unfortunately, due to legalities, they couldn't, so that is understandable, and we're just playing the waiting game. So once that does come in and I can actually build it and prime everything, we'll actually have a full unboxing for that. Next on the docket for me to do is, because this painting challenge has been taking up a lot of my time, there's a lot of games and stuff I want to play. I do got to review the Case Blue book here, which was the newest source book by Warlord Games for Bolt Action, which, if you guys haven't heard the news, 3rd edition is now officially being worked on. Same with a Conflict 47 1.5/2nd edition, because they have bought the rights to it, so that's going to be exciting. A lot of people are thinking we're going to get Bolt Action 3rd this year. I highly doubt it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to see elements of it maybe at the end of the year, but I definitely think we're going to get 3rd edition like next year. Middle/late, actually maybe if earliest maybe start of next year / mid of next year. So earliest next year, middle of next year. That would be the earliest I could see 3rd edition coming out. From what I've heard or seen from these guys, they don't really officially announce something on their websites unless it's going to be coming out in the next month or two. They're very good at making sure the hype train doesn't die out and you're not getting bum rushed at stores for trying to pre-order stuff like Games Workshop likes to do or other companies. So they've come out with reps to talk about it during podcasts and game shows and stuff, but they haven't on their website yet said anything about it. So I still think it's a year or so away until we get it, which for all those who may be worried that they're going the way of the Games Workshop, which is going to lead to our next news here that we're going to talk about in this video. Everything is going to be backwards compatible still, though this is the first time that they're actually going to be redoing all the army books. So everything's going to get a 3rd edition army book because they are changing some rules. And I'm guessing probably going to do like what they did with the German 2nd edition rule book, where they took a lot of those new units from different source books and kind of recompiled them together and updated their army rules to match more to 2nd edition, like what the Germans did with 2nd edition. So I think a lot of these armies, especially like the really old ones like Russia and all that stuff, that's still 1st edition special rules. They have to use the 2nd edition conversion charts to work on. They're probably going to just convert them for us into 3rd edition rules. But all your campaign books, all your special units and stuff are going to be reusable in 3rd edition. So I don't think they're quite changing the stats or how impactful a unit is. I just think they're basically updating some rules, simplifying some things that may have been too complicated, maybe fixing things like, I know they've talked a few times about how wheeled vehicles and tracked vehicles, their stats should be swapped for turn radiuses and stuff like that. Little things like that, I think. Maybe make MMGs more prominent. You know, maybe they dish out a lot of pins or something. Howitzers should be a little bigger in their blasts and stuff. Make some units more effective while nerfing some units, like snipers should not be able to one-shot, howitzers, I could have that rule wrong, or weapon teams like MMG teams or mortar teams should not get one-shotted by snipers unless somehow they roll extremely god-tier rolls or some special rule is added to them that, like a named sniper could do that. And it'd be kind of cool to see them bring in named characters be playable in competitive, if they made like their normal game, how it is now, and then they made like a competitive game where you can have, like, they kind of hyper focus on balancing and have named characters, but still kind of keep it in the way of how they balance things nowadays, where it's like almost every year you got a kind of little thing. So I want the balancing kind of like Games Workshop, where you can have named characters and you can have, like units and stuff, and how armies kind of, I love how they do army uniqueness in this version. So it's like, if we can get that, uniqueness to an army and, kind of the points looked at tournaments, and have some named characters be kind of double looked at and be like, yes, this is allowed in a generic reinforced platoon, and kind of have the units broken into actual timelines. Because I know it is broken into timelines right now, but I'd like to actually see them focus on that match play side to be like, you want to play early war stuff, you can only use these things. You're not going to be having that problem where you're like, I want to play mid-war, and someone's like, oh, mid-war? Well, technically, in mid-war, which is basically the start of late war, these guys had Panzerfaust, so I'll bring them in while you're bringing, Valentines and Matildas, and they're bringing in, Panzerschrecks galores and two LMGs on their squads, while you only have rifles on your infantry. So I hope they kind of, for the match play side of it, if they keep a separate book or a free PDF online for people who want to use it at tournaments, and they actually go and talk to the different major tournament runners, like the one in Australia, the one in England, the one in America. They kind of talk to those guys, ask what they change for house rules, and have that be separate. Have take the rule books from the narrative side, the casual side, how it is now, and those guys take them and kind of make their own PDF and kind of regulate it. That way you still get the fun Warlord Games, how it is now, narrative play, casual play, and you can also then have a more competitive side for those guys who might be coming from Games Workshop or other games, and have that nice feeling while still kind of showing them what its bolt action's really like. So that's kind of my thoughts there on that, which leads into talking about the future of Warlord Games, which today, as of this video, they just announced through an email on their Facebook pages, all that stuff. And unfortunately, due to the current world economic situation, they must increase their prices yet again. though this is only applying to anything that is made in-house and is their models. One of my first initial reaction to this was I was very, very displeased with this. Now, I've been a person who's been actively advocating for Warlord Games to my friends and to everybody who will hear me out about it, how they're the ultimate answer to the modern day wargaming question and Games Workshop sort of, monopoly in wargaming, how they're the other game you can go to besides, everything else. And the biggest selling point for them, especially for where I live and with all the whole like tax hike thing going to happen here in the next month and all this, the world's on fire, literally and figuratively, that this was the answer to affordable wargaming and something you could have on the side alongside your Warhammer armies. Your EDH to your modern, so on and so forth. And they've only, since I've played, which has been like start of second edition basically, / ending of first, they only have price hiked, like a major price hike. They did it like a 0.5, but that was more of a tax thing and shipping, but they fixed that to be a lot better. They've only really done 3 price hikes. And even then, the second one, it was kind of like, I'm watching you, but it wasn't bad. It was reasonable, and the really nice thing about Warlord Games so far, which I will give them heavy credit for, and this is why they've won awards for it, they've been really open with anything they do. And they actually take, at least they show off to social media and to us, they take their time to actually think about these things and like how it will affect them bottom line, PR wise and business wise. And in the end, they are running a business. So, but this time they're raising everything by 6%. And again, this is excluding books and anything that's made by a third party that they just sell on their website. So anything made that has the Warlord Games brand on it or is printed in-house, so a lot of their bolt action Conflict 47 now is going to be increased, which takes a $72 something like that model kit, and this is at a store that just sells straight from what the website is or where they sell it, like tell them to sell it for, is going to become $80 something, which is the normal price for the Russians infantry box. And that's going to be about $90. And then with Conflict, there's a lot of these units or specialty, like specialty brand units like the Buffalo Soldiers or the American Firefly paratroopers for Conflict. They're going to be going from like $90, like $110 to about like a really high amount. So as a person who's switched to bolt action, I'm lucky enough that if I want any unit nowadays, I mostly just print it unless it's a vehicle. But it's still a huge drastic change for money. Though talking to to colleagues of mine and friends who play mostly Games Workshop, asking them their opinion about the price hike, how often they've done it, showing them the media, telling them what you get in a box and how you can basically start an army through an infantry box, though not being a great one, it can be the cheapest alternative to get into bolt action. They still think it is a better and cheaper alternative, so it is not as drastic to outsiders as it might seem to those who are inside. Though $80 is still $80. This is also taking, as we can kind of see, the new Korean models that are coming out in the Warlord resin. Their weapon teams are about $28 something now in American. So it's going to be like $40 back to what it was for the metal models in this new resin, which the new resin was actually making them cheaper. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we get more information why this is increasing. I know they said stuff about production costs and taxes, but I would really like to know, as a long-time devotee, I guess, fan, I will say I do have biases in support of this company, though this is now making me put them on a watch list, just like how CD Projekt Red is now on my watch list because of Cyberpunk. I still like both companies. I will still play their stuff. I'm just not going to, be a big spender anymore. I'm going to be more frugal with my money, if that's the correct word. I'm going to watch what they're doing. I'm going to be a little bit more, you know, like dissective, I guess what the word is, like more watchful of it, and kind of choose what I pick up. So I doubt anybody from Warlord Games is going to see this. But if anybody, you know, does, hypothetically, if someone does, that is my real question. I would like to know what was the real driving force behind this, because with this tax increase that's going to be happening where I live, how it's already hard for jobs and money, the COVID hit NA really hard, plus this, I'm basically, again, like I said, glad I'm done all my armies. Like, I have all their models that you'll need to play and more. So I'm good. But if anything new comes out that I want to get, or maybe they're now making as a model that they never made before, I'm kind of screwed. I'm going to have to save more. It's going, basically, it's feeling like Games Workshop all over again. But a 6% increase on what already is kind of like, you know, basic tax isn't much. It can look really huge depending on what you're looking at. An infantry box going up to $80, that's kind of big. But when you kind of look at their, you know, smaller weapon teams, something that was $18 American, going up to about like what, $22 something dollars, $20, not a huge thing. So smaller models aren't going to get as heavily affected. Well, bigger boxes are going to go up more. For those who are in America, that's $60 American for an infantry box, $70 for a Russian infantry box, because you get 10 extra dudes. Again, though, this is a company that very much makes great models, and they're awesome to build and collect. They're affordable, but they also do make their rule books to be model obnoxious, whatever that new buzzword is that people use for war games nowadays. They make their rule books. They put a bunch of alternate versions of vehicles, infantry, squads, all that stuff, history. And the nice thing is those rule books are going to stay the same price, because probably paper printing costs and all that stuff is still affordable for them. So really, relatively, you know, you can save up. This gap in money cost is going to give you some time to actually sit down, paint your models, build, play it, see if you like it. And if you do, you can just use the army books and the campaign books and play with other models you might have, or you find somewhere else, like War Games Atlantic and stuff. And if you truly really like an army, or you truly want to just build up an army quickly, spending that extra little bit of increase on a box is definitely worth it. They're still, for an overall model range, the kept quality control of that whole model range is really good. And I still prefer them over other war game model makers out there. But as an overall range, they make some of the best historical models out there. And it's not like a huge like $20 price increase like Games Workshop did, where they did like that double price increase. They're still, and they don't tell us why. They're very open. They thought about this, and on most things it's not a huge deal. And in some places where you live, depending on where you live, it's already cheap enough. But some places like here, Australia, it's going to be a hit, and it might make you think twice. But again, we're going to be doing videos on this channel, series and stuff, to kind of help you guys figure out what you need to buy next, what to buy next, how to list build, all that stuff. So this will help with that price increase. So TLDR, biggish price increase is coming to Warlord models that are made in-house, though it's not as bad as the Games Workshop scenarios. It is still a watch list event. You know, put them on the watch list, but it's definitely not for malicious reasons, at least that they're giving us. And if anybody from Warlord Games sees this video, I would love to hear your comments down below, or even maybe someday just have an email from you or something, because I know I'm not a great enough content creator to actually have an interview with you. So yeah, that's that, guys. So hopefully I'll have some b-roll here again if you guys didn't see it over here in the first part of this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying my painting video. If I keep constantly looking to the side, that's me unintentionally looking at the camera screen. And yeah, there's going to be very little editing here. Hopefully you like the backdrop. And we will see you guys next weekend when I stream to do some painting. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend, go do these commissions. We will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to. Click it.